How's it going? Welcome to week 2 of my CFOP journey. In this week I focused mainly on speeding up the algorithms I knew by grinding them constantly. I planned really on focusing on my F2L, but I'll get into that. Recently my sister became intrigued by the cube, so I taught her to solve it. After she saw the first video she wanted to be involved, so here is what she managed to accomplish.
I've started by using beginner's method.
It's not that funny.
You laugh!
Right, okay. Right, see the assistant, go.
I've started by using beginner's method and I have a shell flea by flea, but I've recently purchased the GEMS, but that hasn't allowed in the post. My current best time is 2 minutes and 2 seconds. I hope to get this down to under 1 minute.
Starting off my week, my personal best was 37 seconds, but this didn't stand for long. Day 1 of week 2 I managed to smash my PB out the water, with every single solve being under 37 seconds. Now looking at the screen you may notice a sub 30 solve, but that unfortunately was a DNF. I ended the timer too early, the actual time was actually about 36 seconds. The average ended up being 34.12 seconds, and that is at the start of the week. So after my sister joined me, we decided to go and do some solve together. Then out of absolutely nowhere, Oh!
Good
Sub
job.
30!
Good job!
First sub 30! Yes!
Like ever?
On film! On film!
So nobody can like say that you didn't.
Oh yes!
But now I don't know what time I'm
Sorry, I had to stop the timer.
It's fine. It was a good time.
But that wasn't just it. I had to go in for the double. Again! 2 29s in a row, I didn't stop the timer that time. Yes! Yes! Starting to get sub 30s. Oh! That's awesome for getting on film. Yes! Yes! Unfortunately, I didn't end up getting the record on the screen as it ended up being corrupted, so I don't know what the average ended up being, but it was a goddamn good one. Halfway through the week, on Wednesday, I got my worst average, but at the same time, I managed to get my PB of 27.19 seconds. I'll go more into why this happened and how I had some terrible solves and a really good solve at the end, but I'll go over my best average first. My best average was 31.37 seconds. I got a fantastic solve, which was 26.34, but I ended up getting the closest +2 in my life. I'll throw a picture on screen. I ended up deciding ultimately it was a +2. I really didn't want to count it, but I felt it was only fair that I did because it would have been a bit cheaty if I didn't. Anyways, I cut the other averages out for the one main reason, and it was this problem that continuously, it just gave me problems the entire time, and it was my F2L. It wasn't to do with my tons per second or speed, but during the beginning, after cross, I would freeze and I'd just be completely unable to find pieces. This was a major problem, and I ended up having some 50-second solves, over 40-second solves, and it was a nightmare. Now this largely, I think, actually did come from me turning too fast and just rushing into it. So I'm going to try and turn slower during F2L and spend less time looking for the pieces. Something else I'd like to mention is week 1 was actually recorded before Christmas, and this is after Christmas as I record this. Is the 7th of January. I was out with family and I just didn't have the time to record or anything. So going into week 3, I promise to focus on my F2L, I promise. And I'm going to get my first sub 30 average. I'm going to do that. I've decided that's what I'm going to do. So thank you very, very much for watching, and I hope to see you next week. Goodbye!